We got a little bit of new music today. When did that Static Selector record come out? That has Inspector, Ghostface, Method Man, and Raekwon on it.
I don't know. Let me look that up right now while I'm actually.
Well, it's fire.
I told you it was fire. You heard it, right?
I heard it. I listened to it like 3 or 4 times. What do the people in the room think about it? But yeah, that record's crazy, man. They, like you said, they sound good, man.
They sound prime.
They sound really, really good. And this is from somebody who was just listening to Pete Rock's The Game this morning. With for the people who don't know, the Pete Rock record that has Prodigy, Ghostface, and Ray. That was like '98. And I was
Mm.
thinking to myself when I heard the song this morning, I was like, and you may disagree with me on this. And this is Prime Prodigy. He sounds great. But when I hear Ghostface's verse on The Game, I'm like, he's the best rapper on this song. But saying all that to say, and that's a conversation for another day, that whole notion like carried out through the day, and then I hear this record, I'm like, these guys sound great. Now Ray has always sounded great. I think Inspector for me was the one that kind of just cuts through. Like Inspector sounds like it's 1999.
So I kind of want to start right there with the track. I think first of all, I mean, I'm like you. I listened to the song about 4, 5, 6 times, Mike, and I mean, my first takeaway was like, I hope you understand. I hope people understand that literally just on this one record are some of the greatest MCs that ever walked this earth.
Yeah.
Like on this record, and this record is evidence of it. Inspector Deck kind of went through a time. It's around the Purple Tape 2 time, where vocally he didn't sound the same anymore, Mike.
Yeah.
And I don't know what he's done vocally to get back into the time machine, but he's done it well. He is their song starter, Mike. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right.
He's the Wu-Tang Klansman song starter, and he hellified the way he started this off like he usually is.
He's the Ricky
then you know,
Henderson of the clan.
he is. He's Ricky Henderson. I was trying to think of a great leadoff man, but yeah, that would be yes. He's Ricky Henderson, and Ricky Henderson's in the Hall of Fame.
Yep.
Um,
Yep.
yeah, no, Ricky Henderson ain't no regular baseball player.
No, no, not by any stretch of the imagination.
Not by any stretch of the imagination,
Yeah.
right? Then you go to Ghost. When I hear Ghost verse, Mike, I'm like, this verse is evidence. First of all, I don't agree with you at all with that the whole the game thing. First of all, because some of the verses from the game are on one. And I just don't believe a prime Ghostface is better than a prime Prodigy, but overall Ghostface is better. When we
Hold on,
talk
hold on,
about
hold on. You
Ghost,
said some of the verses on the game are on what?
on one.
No. What one?
One on Supreme Clientele, Cast Troy Land for Travolta.
Yeah, it's just one bar. I mean, he just repeated it. That's
So,
it. Oh, come
so,
on. That's not a whole freaking verse. You can't say something twice? Like,
no, not when
come
Prodigy,
on.
not when Prodigy's on the record. No, you can't.
Oh, he has a better verse than Prodigy on the game, straight up.
No, he doesn't, Mike.
He
But I think
does.
that's just your personal Ghostface taste. That might be my personal Prodigy taste. Here's what I
I
tell you.
want to get to
How
the
about this?
Prodigy thing too, because we're gonna go over our MC list. I think we might have Prodigy too high. I think, and we love Prodigy. Rest in peace. But I think you rate Prodigy on a curve. We may be overstating some of the things for Prodigy when it comes to everybody else.
Well, I told you we can put everybody back through the ringer as we like, because I want it to be filtered properly. So as we build out, I want to put people back in the ringer. So if you want to put Prodigy back in, that's fine. But here's what I'm saying right quick with that game verse, Mike.
Mm-hmm.
That game verse, like you love that verse. Nobody else talks about Ghost in that verse like that. That verse super overrated, Mike. And to be honest with
Wow.
you, I thought the verse on this record's better than his verse on the game. If you really want to know the truth, Mike,
It's
like the
not.
verse I just heard him spit better than the verse on the game.
Nah,
Like
man.
you talk about the game like Mike, you're the only person that talks about Ghost verse on there like that. It's not like that, Mike.
It's like that. You remember when
It's
he went in the
not.
basement with Tigger? That was
It's
the
not.
verse that Tigger asked about. That verse was crazy. Am I tripping in the chat, guys? Jordan,
It's just a dope verse. It's
shout
just
out
a
to
dope
Jordan
verse.
House. Jordan House says Coop is hating.
I'm not. It's just, and this was what I was about to say. That Ghost verse makes you realize why he's the most accomplish as far as like the bar work overall in the clan, because here's what he is. He's entertaining. He's insightful. He's funny. He's got great punchlines. He's animated. Like, you know, the only thing about Ghost that you can really say about him in relationship to his clan contemporaries is that he doesn't have Ray or Meth's voice. But when I heard Ghost, I'm like, he's the best MC on this record, like top to bottom, in the totality of it. Ray is the glue guy. And Mike, as usual, here come Meth sewing shit up, Mike. And he's just got, when I heard him slide in on this record, I'm like, you know, it's between him and Big for who has the best delivery ever. That's exactly what I thought, because even his flow, and for everything that I'm waxing about these other guys, like delivery-wise, and I'm saying this respectfully, well, Ray, Ghost, and Deck not in Meth's league delivery-wise, because very few people have ever walked this earth, have ever has been. This verse is more evident of not only how silky his delivery is, Mike, but we need to stop making it seem like Jay is the only one who's epic with these double entendres and these literary devices. Because Method Man, and I keep telling y'all, Method Man does it at the same level Jay does. He just doesn't personalize it. He keeps it on some rap shit. So he's not going to say, the phase I'm on, love, I wouldn't believe it. He's not going to say that. He's going to keep it on some rap shit. And him keeping it on some rap shit doesn't put Jay like above him, because Jay personalizes. Meth is just as good at the literary devices with the entendres as Jay-Z. Quote that, print that, tell motherfuckers I said it.
I think Method Man's word placement I've always been a huge fan of. You know, things like, you know, The Last Temptation, I'm the son of David Ruffin, and shit like that. You know, but I think
that's the same stuff Jay gets lauded for, Mike.
I agree, but, you know, I think with Jay it's more about the full body of work. I think that if in the 90s, when Meth was making his biggest impact as an individual, if he had a solo display of that matched up with his peers, I think we would be talking different. I always say, I haven't said this in a long time, I think that Method Man needed an album in 1996. Now, I understand, you know, with the Clan's order, they had a lot of people to get out, and they were still rolling out their first round of solo albums in 96. But Method Man not dropping in 96 and going from 94 to 98 without a solo effort, I think really kind of tripped him up in the lexicon of his peers.
Well, I mean, respectfully, did RZA's like supply run dry? Because Ghost has talked about not liking Iron Man, Mike, because he didn't feel like he had the same level of beats to pick from Iron Man that GZA had for Liquid Swords, and that him and Ray had for the Purple Tape. And you could even argue, like, just on some rap shit, you could argue that like the top end beats on Tikal and Return to the 36 Changers, the top end beats are better than the top end beats on Iron Man. That's a fair argument.
And you know what? And I think that's a good transition into what I do want to talk about this record is Statik Selektah and his consistency. And I think that also, I mean, I heard Busta Rhymes say one time, you know, he was responding to people who wanted the old Busta Rhymes back. And his response was, the beats ain't the same as what they used to be, type of thing. And I'm like, okay, I guess that's a fair assessment. But I will say this. When somebody comes with production like Statik Selektah did, you see how the artist delivered. And so I got to give Statik Selektah props on his consistency as a producer and him, you know, blessing the Clan with a track like this. And this is what we get. Statik Selektah is hella consistent.
It's heat. No. This some heat.
Yeah.
This some bona fide heat. This some modern day heat.
Like this would be one of those records that I'll play for somebody that's, you know, probably 20 years younger than us, that knows who Wu-Tang Clan is, but doesn't really know because they weren't there. This is a record that you can feed them and be like, this is why I like these guys more than I like your guys. What say you? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's one of those things that if you wanted to make a get off my lawn case, it's a get off my lawn type of record. It's like, see, this is why I like these guys. Are your guys going to be rapping like this in 25 years, 30 years?
I mean, are they rapping like this now? Are they rapping like this now? You know, nobody in the chat, by the way, agrees with your assessment that Prodigy had the better verse than Ghost on the game. Ghost went crazy on the game, man.
Say what
MC
now?
Ultra. For the people who are watching this right now, go look up Pete Rock's The Game and tell me what verse is the best on that song. Ghost is clearly the best rapper on that song.
He's not, Mike. It's not like that. I'm sorry.
Everybody, well, people in the chat disagree with you. I'll say that. I think you have this thing for Prodigy where it's like when you hear Prodigy, it's just over everything.
No, it's not even that, Mike. It's just acting like almost every verse on Iron Man in the Purple Tape is better than that verse. That's what it is. It's not even a Prodigy thing. It's a Ghost thing. It's like literally his verse on Ice Water is better than that verse. The verse on Glacier the Ice better than that verse. Criminology. You want me to keep?
I don't think it is. I disagree with you.
Like that verse ain't like that.
I
Mike.
disagree with you 100%.
Mike got 25 verses better than that verse.
I think you need to go back and listen to the verse.
I listen to that song all the time, Mike. It's one of the few like classic joints on that Pete Rock album. It's not like that. I don't care what people say. I didn't get here by listening to what everybody else said either. No, y'all are wrong. Go listen to Ghost on the Purple Tape. Go listen to the Purple Tape and go listen to Iron Man, and then tell me that verse is on par with that shit. Like, get out of here.
So you're telling me when it comes to this hip hop shit, you've never been wrong?
No, I didn't say I've never been wrong. I'm just saying I'm not wrong about this. I've been listening to that verse since I was in high school. I never thought it was like it's a dope verse from Ghost. It's like whoop-de-whoop. He's Ghostface